We are getting ready to start it off for the night. Once again, letting everybody know on Instagram right now, we are live on Facebook and on YouTube at Groove Theory HQ and on my YouTube channel at Redymix DMT. So if you are joining us on Instagram, yeah, as always say this, everybody's come on Instagram for live and forget that we've gone straight to YouTube and we have gone straight to Facebook. So right now we want you guys to go to your Facebook app, to the YouTube app right now. We are live, Groove Theory HQ. I'm going to do this for 1 more minute and then come off of Instagram. So yeah, I'm seeing my numbers rising right now here. Soca and Champagne, I see you on the inside already. If you guys want to get into the conversation as well, come on to Facebook, come on to YouTube. I'm letting everybody know that. So we have 60 seconds. If you have joined us on Instagram, we are waiting for you guys to join us on Facebook and on YouTube. You are live right now with the Groove Theory one-on-one series. Going for 40 seconds. This is it here. To everybody who's going DJ Tweeny, right? Go to Facebook, right? AVL Advanced Concepts, don't go to Facebook. DJ Smokey, YouTube or Facebook, right? Redymix DMT, or of course, Groove Theory HQ. Whitney Taylor Leray, right? We wanted to get the conversation right now because we are live on Facebook and we are live on YouTube as well too, right? For the Groove Theory one-on-one series. 20 more seconds and then we're gonna go straight into live. I've already have my guest. He's waiting. You know, I don't like to keep people waiting because I don't like to wait either. So if you are joining us live right now on Instagram, once more, we are going to Facebook and YouTube right now to start the live. And yes, Whitney Taylor, yes, great. Head to Facebook. I like when people respond on Instagram and say they're going to Facebook and YouTube and all of that. DCMO and Chosen Ones, we're waiting on you guys right now to Facebook. 10 more seconds, and then I'm going to transfer straight onto Groove Theory HQ on Facebook and YouTube. I'm probably going to leave this running for a little while, but we have some giveaways to do as well, to talk about tonight, as well as the conversation with our special guest. So final call, we are asking if you are tuned in with us on Instagram. We are waiting for you guys right now on Facebook and on YouTube, Groove Theory HQ, as we get into the discussion tonight. All right, so good night, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Groove Theory one-on-one series. I'm yours truly, Shomari KRL, aka Redymix DMT. Thank you guys so much for joining us on Facebook and YouTube tonight as we get ready for another conversation with somebody I consider a creative genius. And I call him a creative genius because I looked at a lot of the work that he's done, not just in music, but otherwise. So we have a lot to talk about tonight, and I'm really, really looking forward to the conversation. Quickly, I want to let you guys know that, yeah, Black Friday passed on Friday, and we had Cyber Monday, and the Groove Theory team right now is we're making Christmas for you guys, all the upcoming DJs. So right now, you're getting $800 back for registering for any DJ course, and $1,000 back for registering for any turntablist program right now. So head to groovetheory.hq and make sure and sign up for our program right now. We look forward to have you guys for our next cohort in January. Once again, to my Instagram crew, we're going to be logging off of here very soon and transferring straight to Facebook and YouTube. I'm seeing my numbers rising. So once again, if you don't know, go to Groove Theory HQ on Facebook or on YouTube right now. And we are live with my guests who I want to bring in at this point in time. So ladies and gentlemen, the brother that you're seeing on the screen is somebody I had the pleasure of meeting, I think it was 3 years ago, at DJ Stevens' party in Carnival Friday. That was Carnival Sunday. Actually, it was Carnival Sunday. Binge was the day of the party. And I always remember, I said I'll wait until we go live to give you the story, that at that point in time, I was going through a lot of challenges, like personally. So for me, coming back from London and being in events at that point was a big, big deal for me because I was now come back out. And I remember going on stage and playing and came off, and you and DJ Rusty G was like, yeah, man, mad. Yes, and I always took that with me. That went with me because it's always good that even DJs who are established could give other people, whether they are established DJ or upcoming DJ, a word of encouragement and say, yo, real good job. People just take that for granted. And I always remember that, kept that in my mind. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce to you guys, if you don't know him already, somebody who has been in the business 22 years plus, right? A member of the Black Chinese movement, the Remix King, aka Warren O. I know you tell me child support, but anyhow, Warren O, aka DJ Willy Chin. What's going on, my brother?
What's up? What's up? Glad to be here. Big up Groove Theory.
Yeah,
Big up the
man.
whole crew.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I'm glad that you made the time tonight and you've been busy. Your lives have been probably the most well-produced lives I've been seeing all over because, and it's amazing because I was having this conversation with somebody the weekend that you would look at Private Ryan's live, and it's no disrespect to Ryan. Ryan comes on, he does his thing, he in his living room, whatever, whatnot. You go on Willy Chin's live, and this is like watching HBO at the same time. Now. So isn't that you of yourself decided that when you're going to go into this live process, that it had to be done in a particular way, like it had to have the best production that you could do at the point in time?
Honestly, like that goes with anything I'm doing.
Right.
You know, yeah, like music, anything. Just try to do the fullest of it. You know what I mean? Try to research, try to get the best quality as possible on that budget, and just grow from there, right?
Yeah.
I don't look up to be like, yo, I want to make this the best. I want to make it look good, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we'll get into some details of that because I've been having this discussion with a lot of creatives and especially artists who have a social media persona, they have a video persona, and then the actual person. And I'm always interested in finding out like how much of you that you see in a video is actually a really real guy, you know, if this is part of who the guy is. But we'll get into that later in the conversation. I really want to tap into your knowledge of music because I know we have a lot of DJs that are going to tune in tonight, producers, young guys who looking to understand the industry. I think for the years that you've been at this, I really and truly want to get into some details of that because that would help them in their process. But I mean, let me take it back, I guess, to the beginning. And even though I don't want to stay long there, I think it's important for everybody to understand like where people come from. I know you've basically grown up in like a musical environment, as we like to call it here in Groove Theory, the ecosystem. Talk to me about like the early years of you growing into music and how that's impacted you at this point in time.
Just been in music all my life, actually. So my musical career started, I used to record mixtape of my cousin Super Dupes.
Right.
Grammar producer, DJ, owner of Black China. So he used to ask me to record his sets and he played on the radio.
Right.
This time I was probably about 9, 10, young. So, and I'd watch him practice every day and thing. Eventually, when he's gone, I'm in the room messing with his equipment and take to start doing weddings because my next uncle owns a sound company, light and sound equipment, and I rent PA systems and everything, the weddings, and I would just help carry the boxes, string up the box, them, help move the equipment, and then I get a 5-minute set playing and then evolving into what I'm doing now. So,
right.
Fast forward, you know. Well, fast forward to college, drop out, went to vocational school, SAE, Miami, for music engineering, and then just continued music after that.
So you actually went to study sound engineering in Miami?
Yeah.
And it's funny because so many guys I know get involved in this and they have no like official training to it. You understand? But you were somebody that felt the need to actually go in it and study it full time. That's correct, right?
Yeah. Honestly, though, I think it was a waste of money.
Right.
Because of knowledge again throughout my course of my life. So like going there just showed me, I was like, oh crap, I really know more than what I thought I knew.
Right.
You know, like in the back of your head, like, man, I wonder what these people doing or what. Man, big waste of money. Big waste.
Yeah. As I was reading your bio today via website, and it was interesting to see so many connections with music. Like I think you had an uncle that owned Cosmic Records, and then you had and then you had another family member who was like a guitarist, I believe it was.
Yeah,
and then
he plays currently in Bojo Band and band right now.
Really, right. Yeah. And then obviously you have you know, the members of Black China. I only realized actually that you started playing and building your own solo career before you got to Black China, right?
Yeah.
So is it that like obviously you've been close with these guys before joining Black Chinese. Is it that for you wanted to establish yourself as a musician first before it is that you made a push towards the group, or is it that the group watches like, yeah, we're going, Warren, if you had to come here, you had to come real good. So if you had to come and roll with the team,
like, let me see if you're serious about it, right? It's like, yeah,
right.
let me see if you're serious. And it's like, you know what? All right, come. And then pick up, because like a lot of times somebody might give you opportunity, and if you're not ready for it, it's just going to fall. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, all right, let me see if you're really serious with the music. It's like a lot of people say, yo, they want to be a DJ, but then they're still at home watching Netflix all day. They're not putting in the hours of practicing, learning how to mix, learning new music. You know what I mean? Like, it's just basically that. It's like, yo, let me see how serious you are before you can join the song.
Was there any point at the beginning when you let me break that up into two questions. Is it that for you at the point in time, the goal was to be part of Black Chinese, or it was just for you to be the best that you could be as an individual? And then from that, when was it that you think that you impressed those guys so well that was like, nah, we can't stick on this. We need to make sure he's part of the team.
Well, crazy is that like Black Chinese was my standard. Even on Black Chinese, I wanted to be as big as Black Chinese.
Right.
I don't know if it sounds like that was my goal. That was my this is it. If I reach there, that's it for me. That's where I wanted to be.
Right.
Even on the song, I was like, man, I want to be as big as Black Chinese.
Right.
But what was the second half of the question?
Was there one particular event or incident? Because I always call people that. I always tell people that it's a pivot event now. Like my pivot event was playing in
I think it's a chain of events. All right, so Dopes used to make the remixes for Khaled.
Right.
When that year Mashup Fully Loaded, when Khaled in the reggae heavy. So Dopes, Black China made all those remixes for him that year.
Right.
And the year after that, Black China is on Fully Loaded. Just like, yo, I'm making more remixes.
Right.
But I took the job with Khaled. I'm like, all right, I'll make a couple remixes. And they saw one of my remixes just get a crazy forward. They were on Bounty Killer Birthday Bash.
Right.
One of my remixes get a massive forward. I'm like, yo, that's one event. And then the next, I got a booking on my own in Jamaica.
Right.
So that was like, Jamaica was like playing in Jamaica or getting booked in Jamaica and doing your thing. That was like,
that's a big thing. Yeah.
Yeah, you're ready now. You're ready.
Yeah.
So I think they're like, you know what? Before him get any big on his own, let me take him in.
But you looked at that as like essentially paying your dues towards getting to where you want to get to. I bring up that part of your history because a lot of young DJs out there trying to be able to make it bigger in their careers, and we always try to balance the idea of paying your dues with also respecting yourself and respecting the craft. And again, I know we have a lot of guys who look onto these lives because they are now in the process of developing their careers and they're trying to understand that. What do you think for you is the right balance between paying dues and actually respecting yourself on that from a financial level and from otherwise? Because, I had this conversation with Busby from Toronto. He was like, yo, where's your take on playing for free and flying to a place for free and yada, yada, yada. So like for you growing up in that and wanting to be part of the sound, what for you, how would you advise anybody in terms of the balance between trying to actually reach to that point and yet still understand your value as a DJ or as an entertainer?
Yeah, my story is kind of different. I was kind of baby and handheld. Like I had a mentor along the way, so I didn't have to make as much mistakes.
Right.
And a lot of way had been paved for me on the way.
Right.
So it was an easier course, but I still had to put in the work.
Right.
So as far as that goes, I would say, like as long as you know what the end plan is, the game plan, like you could take free events, you could work for free. Make sure you're getting your marketing out of it.
Right.
Make sure you're getting something out of it. It's not just, all right, I'm just happy to play for free. Let me play. Like, one, you're getting your work experience. Two, try to get a video, try to get something what you dare, like a resume, a visual resume.
Right.
Like, oh, maybe some audio, so you can put out live audio. So it's like, okay, somebody else could hear you, so they could book you again.
Right.
You know, so it's all. Make sure you have your end plan, your game plan.
Right.
And because it takes a while to build up your craft.
Right.
You know, like it takes people years and years upon years, and some people don't get it either, or don't get the opportunity.
Yeah.
Because one, they feel they're the best thing in the world, and they're not, or they are the best thing, but they don't put that extra oomph into it, or they're not going to be like, yo, I'm not going to take a free date because I know my worth. But like that free date will get you 10 more dates.
Right.
You know, you can handpick and choose and thing, but honestly, I've played many free dates in my life.
Right.
Even currently still playing free dates. I might trade a date. You know what I'm saying? So it's still there.
Yeah.
In my level of career too, you know?
Yeah.
I still play. Yeah. But if I getting my marketing out of it, or getting a link that could benefit me on the road, I'm doing it.
Right. One of the things I think is a challenge for a lot of creatives, and I've been talking about this on my next podcast, the Creative Collective podcast, is the challenge of creatives and business now. Because like you just made that mention, like, you know, you have to be able to see the business aspect out there, being able to get being able to build the link, to be able to get another gig, or to be able to lead to something else, right? Of yourself, how much of you is involved in the business aspect of Willy Chin? Is it that you do everything, or is it that you have a team that does different parts for you, and you just kind of like manage and that kind of
thing? Before I got married, like basically 100%. After I got married, I organized like my calendar.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah, and the bookings, because like sometimes, you know, like you're creating and thing, and you might be like, yo, yeah, man, you're good. Like, yo, what happened? Yo, I totally forgot. Yo, yeah, you're good. So about, I don't want to give her 1%, you know, maybe like, you know, 5%. I'll do 9 to 5, and then she'll do the 5, you know?
Right.
Ultimately, yeah, I play a big role in every part of the business.
Right.
And what helped me understand this more too is keeping events. First time I kept an event, I didn't know anything about budget. Like every party I played at was already set up, and everything was already done.
Right.
So, you know, I didn't know you had to get barricades. The only thing I need to know is like security and sound.
Right.
I didn't know anything else. So, and I didn't even know about staffing too much.
Right.
There was so many moving parts. And like, you know, like I'm pretty organized after the first one. You know, it's like, all right, cool. We need to get this done.
Yeah.
So even though when I see an event and it's packed, I'm just calculating like, yo, stage, lighting, fencing, how much security, security there, how much workers there, like, yo.
Yeah. People don't even realize that us as entertainment people, even though we may be going to do a job, going to play, going to whatever, whatnot, we really sit down and actually look at the event, and we're like, yo, he just spent a mad budget on that bar, or whoa, that, you know how much them lights cost? So when you actually take yourself out of the patron, and even sometimes from the entertainer, and you look at it from that side of it, I think you gain a greater understanding for the business side of this entire process. Agreed?
Yeah, like that's it. But it's just saving too for those rainy days. You can't make $100 today and spend $100 tomorrow.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because even this business is like a wave. You know, like a carnival might come in, make a lot of money, then the next few weeks, dead.
Correct.
So it's just or you might do like a world tour, a Europe tour, bring home a couple euro as well, and then the weeks after that, nothing. So it's just a cool balance. I would say like advice for young people, Make sure you find a rich girlfriend or a rich woman. That's what it. And if you're a girl DJ, find a rich man, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or sugar, sugar man, sugar woman. You know what I'm saying?
You see what I tell about child support before, you see?
Yeah.
Do corner for government name. This is why I know. This is why I know. But still, continue.
all that plays a role, but like it's just, man, everybody's story is different.
Yeah.
But the people I talk to are making it in the business. They had a game plan.
Yeah.
The plan might change on the way, but you have to have a game plan.
Yeah.
You have to give yourself and say, yo, you know what? If I don't make it to this point in 3 years or 5 years or 2 years, I'm gonna have to change my plan up.
The pivot.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to change it again, and then I have a next goal.
Right.
So just make sure you have a game plan. Ultimately,
Funny enough, before we went live, you and I were talking about the challenges of our comrades in entertainment, and the fact that some of them were not really prepared for something like this, like COVID-19. It had more because I was sitting down today and like wondering about the conversation, and I know for me what my answer to this is, but I would really like to hear yours. Has COVID-19 been like the biggest challenge to your career so far? And if not, where does it rank against like the biggest challenge that you've had in terms of you being able to overcome it? And what was the pivot like in either way for you? So if there was a challenge before that was bigger than this, what was your pivot in that way? And you don't have to go into detail of, well, yeah, as I said, XYZ happened with the sun. Yeah, you don't have to go into detail of that, obviously. But at the same point in time, it'd be very interesting to understand, like, how does this match against challenges that you've had before?
Man, actually, like for challenges, I kind of, the way how I work is just solution. Right. If there's a problem, fix it. If there's something, get out of it. So this actually has been a blessing for me, because even this Summer Pro course that I created, I have time to dedicate to it, to finish it, to complete it. Because I had this idea from end of last year to the beginning of the year.
Right.
So it's just been an idea on my head, but since I'm traveling so much, there's no time to dedicate to it, to do some research and platforms and this and that. Dedicate to even structuring your course, making the videos, editing them.
Right.
So like when you see the Soundbar Pro course, I film, edit, like I did everything.
Right.
I built the website. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So all of that I did. So like this, I'm viewing it as a blessing, because even that course could just take my career itself to a next level as well.
Yeah.
It's a gamble. It's a gamble because it's still people might like it, people might not, or you know what I'm saying? It's still a leap of faith and a risk you have to take. But it's more calculated. It's like, okay, I'm game plan. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm expecting, and execute.
But I'm sure that still is not an easy process, because even in trying to calculate your next move, obviously everything has a particular level of risk involved. And I bring up this point because, again, as I was telling you, there's the social media side and there's the actuality side. So the social media side, everybody will feel things good, you understand? But they don't understand that there may be times when I was telling everybody, I call it the 3 o'clock in the morning stare. And the 3 o'clock in the morning stare is like, when you're lying down in your bed at 3 o'clock in the morning, you're looking up on the roof, or you have your phone like this with the lights in the eye, and you're sitting and you're studying, what do I, So I'm quite certain that for you, it probably wasn't even that easy either.
It's not as easy, but I was fortunate to I haven't worked since Trinidad Carnival.
Right.
Like I'm fortunate to have enough savings I'm not stressing out where my next meal coming from.
Right.
So, but like when it reach a point, then I start stressing, but I don't reach there yet.
I understand.
You know what I mean? It's like, all right, when it reach that dollar amount, I can start stressing.
Right. So you have the cutoff point, and when you reach the cutoff point,
cutoff point.
Right.
Yeah.
As we were talking about that, we were talking about the video production, and this is
Mhm.
something that blew my mind, right? And you just said it just now. So during this point in time, as I say, you took it as a blessing. So it means that all the videos that you've seen posted, which I have to say, and if anybody here has not tuned it, please go on Willy Chin's YouTube channel and take a look at the tutorial videos. They're the greatest thing in the world. Because as you tell a partner, like, yo, hey, step one, so step two. So you have yourself record and edit all that stuff on your own.
Correct.
So like, what is the actual like studio day for you? And when I say studio, I mean video. Is it that for you, you say, okay, I'm gonna get up at 9 a.m. and between 9 and 3 o'clock, I'm gonna dedicate this time to doing 3 hours of video production, 2 hours of studio work, yada yada yada. I ask that question because again, we have a lot of creatives who are home at this point in time facing the challenges of the pandemic. Some of them wondering, how do I be productive at this time? I know for me, I sit down and curate these conversations because I think they're important. But I know there's a way of holding yourself accountable. How do you hold yourself accountable for the time that you spend with the day? You're laughing because it's like, yo, you don't know, you know.
Like you have to give yourself deadlines.
Right.
Deadlines, or else you're gonna be working on something forever.
Right.
So why I'm laughing is I gave myself the end of October to release this course.
Right.
And it came out the month after, right?
Right.
So I mean the beginning of October, you know, and it came out in November.
Right.
Well, late in November too. It came out recently. But
Right.
give yourself deadlines, because the way I work, I would love to do like a 9 to 5, but since you're creative, the vibes might not lick you at that point.
Correct. 100%.
You know what I'm saying? So like I might get out 3 videos in one day, and then the next 4 days is like,
yeah.
All right, I'll get to it.
Yeah.
And then like the next 3 videos, and then, or you know what I'm saying? Or maybe the whole week I don't do nothing. Like it's like, all right, I'm staring at the stuff, sitting in front of the computer. I'm like, you know what? Let me just do something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, because my mind is different. Sometimes it goes straight heavy into work mode, and then sometimes it just gets distracted, like everybody else.
Yeah.
You know?
I understand that, because it's the same thing with me. There are times when, as you rightfully say, you sit down. Like I have 3 mixes that I was gonna do, a knock off 3 mixes in a weekend. It's like, yo, I go and pour this here. And then there are some weeks when it's like, you know, the creative motivation just not ready there. You know, but I think which is something I think you will agree with. Everybody has to have like that. I call it the totem. If you ever watched Inception.
It looked like money to me.
Inception. Right, Inception. So remember, if you ever watch Inception, there was a little totem which
yeah.
Right, yes, which Leonardo DiCaprio would spin, and it would remind him that he was either dreaming or actually in real life now. So for me, when I see totem starting to come to an end now, it's like, all right, now you have to put some pressure on yourself, good pressure, you know, to get back into the productivity side of things. Speaking about go ahead.
I guess for me, for deadlines though, it's probably from bad habits from school days. Right. I'm not studying for the test. I studied the day before, you know. So that's why I give myself deadline. So I give myself deadline and room for error. So,
do you generally meet those deadlines? Like out of 10 times, how much do you actually meet the deadline?
Never.
Oh God, man.
Never.
Oh my goodness.
Or if I do, is close.
Yeah.
But like I know, like I could get it done. It's like I know myself, and I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I give myself 3 weeks to do something, but I know I can do it in 3 days.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I just wait, and then 3 days. And sometimes I start early. So I'm not that bad. I'm not that bad.
We'd call that cramming, which is the general term for it. That's cramming. Just quickly, for everybody who's joining with us, you guys could comment in the either on Facebook, in your Facebook comments, YouTube comments, and we actually will get some of the comments here at the bottom. And if you have any questions, that's all you want to ask, we'll get to some of the questions. Here's an issue that I've been struggling with for the last couple of months, right? As a DJ, how important is it for you to be able to understand the fundamentals of production, of music production? And I'll tell you why I asked that question after.
Is understanding. You should understand everything about music,
Right.
because that's your job. You're playing music,
Right.
So basic fundamentals of sonics of how records sound. I mean, there's some records that are the biggest records, and I don't play them because they don't sound good to me.
Right.
But it's very important. You need to know your bar structure, your keys. But at the end of the day, for me, know your music.
Yeah.
For a DJ, know your selection.
Yeah.
As well as the skill level. But like, you could mash up a dance with selections. You could have the greatest skills without selection, and flop.
Right. Right.
So know your music, I would say.
Right. You made a point about there are records that are considered really big records, but you would never play it. So you're in a party and a girl comes and knocks and say, hey, do you have, I don't go and call any track name, but you have XYZ. And it's like, how do you know, assess, all right, I need to play this track because this is what they want to hear? Or at the same point in time, like I think a lot of people, DJs, deal with that, playing music that you really don't want to play. So like is that a challenge for you, like when it comes down to doing events?
Not so much, because for me, I play a lot of my own music, my own remixes.
Facts.
So even like odds are somebody else played it before me anyway.
Right.
So I don't have to play it.
Right.
So even like, depends on what slot you get. There's not many songs left for you.
Right.
You have to start digging deeper into different selections.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless you want to sound like everybody else,
I understand that. So it was a plan by you then that you would play, or your sets would basically be curated with productions or edits that you would put together, because for you that is what you thought would make you not just sound different to everybody else, but at the same point in time it would motivate you to actually keep going and playing in events because you're now playing stuff that you produce. Correct.
And even that, you stand out more from the crowd as well, right? If DJ A and DJ B and DJ C playing the same thing, and then you play something slightly different, like, oh crap, who is that?
Right.
Or even if you drop one scratch in different, they're like, yo, something, like your ears wake up at that point. So like, that's why I play my remixes, play my dub plates, rewrite my dub plates, make it comical, just try a bit different, like not too different to where it's like left field,
right?
But just add a little flavor to the pot.
It's funny you say that. I remember Vincy Mas 2 years ago, and I see Selector Kerry here, so big up Kerry. We went to St. Vincent, and there was an edit I put together, and I put it on SoundCloud just for people to hear what it sounded like. Mind you, we go on the truck, the DJ who plays before us plays my edit, and I'm like, and he plays it, and he watches man smile like, yeah, and I like, but just play my edit. You understand? Have you ever gone to an event and a guy run through like 10 Black Chinese remix or Willy Chen remix right in front of you off stage, like, yo, he's supposed to come on and play after? Like, has that ever happened to you?
Funny story, but not so much, because most of like them time they're just all dub plates. So if they're playing it, they're gonna say Black Chinese,
Right.
But I had a double gig back to back. I'm not gonna call the sound name. So it's like 2 islands. So we played the first night with the sound.
Right.
The second night, my exact identical juggling. Play. And the DJ just looking at me smiling, and then and I'm like, man, I was like, yo, this sound familiar. And then good thing I have way more than one juggling, and just switch it up again. Like the man just scratch him head again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's just funny. It's just hilarious. Like,
I think,
there's like no respect at that point.
I think they do that as a kind of sign to try to show like they're impressing you, but at the same
Yeah.
point in time, it's like you're actually impressed if it is that you play your own thing.
Yeah.
Do your own thing. Do your
Like do
own
your
thing.
thing, I must dance. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I get that. I get that. I was asking about production a while ago.
Mhm.
Has there ever been any artist that you really wanted to work with and you reached out to the guy and he was like definitely didn't want to do it? You understand? Is there one particular artist that I don't necessarily want to call the name, but as a fact, I'm
Uh-huh.
gonna ask that question because we had to get in him. But
Nah,
the
well,
second,
well, these are some of the none of them really don't really blatantly say no. They're like, yeah, man, we'll get it done. You
right,
know, they
right,
give
right.
you the they're like, yeah, okay. You know, it's like, hold on, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh, send me the email. All right, cool. Send it to management. Yeah. Yeah.
I did never respond to you.
Yeah.
I asked that question because again, um, talking to somebody the other day was like, well, you Shomari now, so nobody go really tell you no. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Cause they see the work that you put in, so they see
Uh-huh.
that you're working with this one and that one and the other one or whatever. But a lot of them don't even understand at times that you as Willy Chin might get a no, or well, yeah, or get back to you, and they probably
But
wouldn't.
I might get a no faster than you get a no. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it all depends on the artist and the situation and what they can benefit out of it, or if it's through a link or a bridging or a direct link,
Yeah.
you know?
So that brings me then to the next idea of, or the concept of networking. And you know, everybody is different in terms of their personality and how they go about networking with individuals. And I like to ask guys who are experiencing the industry, what is like your keys to networking? You know, and that's why tonight I really want to pick your brain because you have had so much extensive experience working with so many different people, and I've heard a good couple of mixes with your remixes in it already. And I sure didn't pour that remix for somebody to take, but I probably just rip it from somewhere and pay it in a mix to say, yeah, you understand? But the point I make is that you have had so much experience just working with different DJs, producers, whatever, whatnot. Like to you, what is the approach to networking that you would say you take? Is that part of your personality to be the kind of guy to always make the link, or is it that you just happen to be one of those guys who just have the blessing to be in the right place at the right time?
I think I'm the blessed guy to be in the right place at the right time, because my personality is not that upfront, go get her, get it, actually,
Yeah,
So I'd more feel comfortable in here and try to do my work and then make my work be recognized for somebody to link me.
yeah,
So I'm not that person who could be like, yo, wagwan, yeah. And for me too, it's like I can't deal with a lot of BS and fluff, and like I link with certain people in the industry, and like I have a lot of acquaintances, and then I have some that I link with on a personal level as well.
yeah,
So I don't know if I just gravitate to like personalities, or so I'm not really that too blatant upfront person.
yeah,
But I live good with everybody, so
yeah.
I don't. I'm the more to myself, the shy. I hold like a one con and observe.
It's funny you raise that because obviously I've seen some of your videos from some of your performances. I've actually seen some of your performances, and I even tell people that one of the things a lot of people don't know about me is I'm actually a very shy person. But
Yeah.
then when they see me on stage or they see me in a forum like this, it's like, yo, but I see you on stage bawling out your lungs and hyping the crowd and whatever, whatnot. But really and truly, I just like to be laid back, Are
Mhm.
people surprised to hear when you actually tell them, like, yeah, like you were saying before, you like to actually be home and that kind of stuff? Are
Yeah.
people really surprised by the fact
Yeah.
that Willy Chin on stage is this guy, and then off stage is like, yeah, I just cool?
That's easy. Yeah. Nah. Like sometimes I look at the replay back some videos and I'm like, damn, who is it? Who is that? Who is that on stage?
Yeah,
Because even all right, earlier you was talking about different hurdles.
yeah,
I would say a big hurdle in my career was talking on the mic or MCing, because
right,
from my entire career I've just been the selector, the DJ, behind the computer remixing.
right,
Yeah, so like getting to that point, Like there's a point in my career I was like, yo, the only people who really get recognized is if you're talking on the mic. So you have to do it.
Correct.
You have to do it. Like they don't see the selector. Like Black China is one of the few sounds that you know who the selectors are.
Right.
You know Super Dubs, you know Willy Chin. And they're not out on the front of the stage balling out on the mic.
Right.
So you know, which is that's what I had in my head. I was like, yo, you have to talk on the mic. So that was my biggest hurdle for my personal career, my personal hurdle. And I still battle with it sometimes. Sometimes I have to amp myself up and like, yo, you could do this.
So how do you then get over that hurdle? Like, what is the process for you to get over that hurdle?
Alcohol. More rum.
Right.
Yeah. Nah, yeah, alcohol helps.
It's really alcohol.
It does. Yeah. Especially early out. I could probably do it now, but without, it helps, you know?
So you are the kind of person that you would look back at a performance and be like, yo, or I can't believe I just say that or do that or whatever. Yeah.
I'm more comfortable now, but like probably like 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Right.
Oh, man.
Right.
Yeah.
But that is still so funny because again, going back to a YouTube channel and everybody, you guys need to go on Willy Chin's YouTube channel. So you always have that Willy Chin birthday bash which you do pre-corona. You have done that every year.
That's correct, right? Like 11 years.
Right. So that's 11 years. So I've seen some of your video ads for some of your stuff. And I saw one today which was totally hilarious. I think it was somebody, I don't know if it was your daughter or whatnot. And you were getting ready and like they were downstairs in chair and you went downstairs and you're talking to him like management and
yeah.
And I see this happening. It's like, but yo, how is this guy coming up with the concepts for these things? So for me, being if you call yourself a reserved person, where do you come up with the ideas to do these kind of things? And more importantly, because you're reserved, how do you get yourself in the mindset to actually go and do it?
I just have to force myself. Sometimes I have to force myself, but if the idea is there, the concept is there, and I know mentally I can execute it, I'll do it. Do it, you know? Or honestly, even if I can't execute it, I'll do it. Because there's like the ideas you hear out there, there's double that don't come out. Or triple. Yeah.
Right.
Or that might come out a couple years from now and I revisit it and I'm like, oh crap, this never sound too bad. Or okay, this could work now.
Right.
You know, but yeah, I don't know. I didn't even know how that started. I actually did a spoof video, the Trinidad James.
Right.
You check it for the same birthday party too.
Right.
I think that was the first video I did, and that time I was trying to promote my event, and I just try to think of creative ways to promote, market. So like if everybody's doing like a 4x6 flyers, handing them out, I want to do something different. I hand out a mixed CD. Everybody's doing mixed CDs. I have to do something different now.
Right.
You know, I'll do a mixed CD as well, but I have to do something different for my personal accomplishment. You know, I need it for myself.
Right.
And it can't be the same as the year before. It has to be something different.
Right.
And I think I just push the curve for myself most of the time.
Right.
You know.
So you would then say that looking at, and I wouldn't even call it competitors because not necessarily competitors, just looking at what everybody's doing. If 10 people are doing, as you say, mixes, then you would now conceptualize what you could do differently with a mix or differently with something else that again would always put you separate from everybody else.
Yeah. That's how my mind works, I guess. Or I just been doing it that way so long. Or that's what I learned from my mentors. Yeah, just do something different, but do you at the same time.
Right.
Yeah. So everything I do different is still me, a representation of myself. I'm not trying to be somebody else.
So and that's why I said I'd come back to that question. How much of your social media and stuff that you put out is actually like who you are as an individual? I had this conversation with Private Ryan, and Ryan was saying that, you know, Ryan is philosophical now. So he's like, you your video, what you put out there is an extension of yourself. And you know, I just want to, I get his answer, but then I know there are some people that have a persona for social media and have a persona that is who they are as a person. But how much of what you put out is Willy Chin, and how much is Warren then?
That's a good question. Ultimately, all of it's me, but I am like a lot of the thing is comical,
Right,
and vulgar, and I am both of those.
right.
Yeah, but like I'm still a reserved person, you know, like when I'm Warren Who, or that's Warren Who you seen, and Willy Chin is a calm one. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's probably a good 90%.
Yeah.
Me, yeah.
But one of the things I want to stress what everybody is looking on is that, again, all the things that you have done, you've put in the requisite research to get to that point. If you want to know how to do a vlog, you are going to put in the research to do a vlog. And it doesn't necessarily have to mean reaching out to somebody, but it could be using the resources that we have, YouTube, whatnot, to figure it out. And that's why I say, even with what you're doing right now with the tutorial series, it's helped a lot of guys to be able to understand how to use OBS, how to do a proper live, what you would want to do to have your live looking good. Because even like you, as I said, it looks well produced, and people are like, well, yo, how did he do this? But it comes like you are giving back to the universe the way the universe give to you, because you now learning from what you're seeing, and now you've taken it upon yourself to actually give that information out to individuals as well. Is that something that you had always planned to do in that regard, putting aside the soundboy school, if you want to call it that? But is that something that you wanted to do in terms of actually being able to put out how I really do XYZ?
No, it's actually because of the Sound by Pro is a part of it, mainly for that.
Right.
But I do help out a lot of people if they ask me, you know, they're like, yo, how you do this? Or I want to try to do this. I'm like, all right, cool. Or give them some advice. I do that on a regular, you know, it might not be to the world or on my social media, but some people reach out personally and ask me some things. I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah. So I do that on a regular anyway. Like as far as the YouTube and stuff, it was partially get everybody up to speed with the live stream, because it was still new and it was sounding horrible. It was looking horrible, you know?
Yeah.
And ultimately you want to see everybody on a level, right?
Yeah.
Like if everybody's good, everybody just have to get better. Like the bar is raised.
Right.
You know, if you settle for peanuts, everybody just gonna be settling for peanuts, you know?
Yeah.
Like even you told me you upgraded your equipment. They started with a cell phone. Right now, it's looking great.
Yeah.
You know, so like a lot of people can't see the end result. Like even my first set of tutorials is nothing compared to what I'm doing now.
Right.
You know, but it's still a learning process, and I was willing to learn, willing to open the mind and be like, all right, cool, a DJ, but I could do this as well.
Yeah.
You know, a DJ, but I could do this as well. I could wear a different hat.
Yeah.
I could adapt.
Yeah. That's the pivot. That's the pivot we continue talking about, because you can stick to doing one thing, but now at this point in time, what are the other things that you could pick up and decide to do on your own and learn and actually master now on your own? So now you are now putting out content for guys like other guys who want to pick up this now to be able to learn from that. I want to pivot to two things quick before we lock off for the night. One is the concept of the sound clash. And I always tell people that I am of the view that sound clash culture, from where it was 15 years ago, especially in Trinidad and Tobago, when we had all the, well, in TNT, it was the Excalibur, Radioactive, Matt Similar, etc. They ran the entertainment industry. And as things progressed, you felt and you saw that started to die down in Trinidad and Tobago. Now there are a couple of guys still in TNT that do it. What is your take on where that is now in terms of sound clash culture internationally? Is it still something that people are gravitating to? Has it died a lot with the way that we now look at music and how we take music for ourselves? What is your take on that at this point?
Sound clash culture been dying. It never really evolved to the next generation, right?
Right.
And I think with sound clash, like a lot of people love it. Like I love it, but it costs way more than a juggling event, you
Right.
know. As you have to cut your dubs. It's a lot more. A lot more goes into it, and less payout at the end.
Yeah.
So that's what's been happening over the years. Like sound clash, and dubplate culture have been funded by drug money
Hmm.
for years. Like for the like those big sounds, that's what they had. Like give him on a truck, give on to kill a boat or something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Vice enough dubs, and the person who have the most money or most dubs is like a show off contest.
Right.
But as far as that goes, it ended up being a thing where like you can't get certain artists anymore.
Right.
As far as like you're gone at Silk them and Dennis Brown them, and there's just like a handful of sounds there, like it never really be like, yo, how can a new song compete with somebody 20 years old?
Yeah.
And I liked like Irish and Chin been keeping the culture alive and trying some different things, singing round. And that's cool, like a 45 round.
Right.
Which now somebody could compete now.
Right.
But is it too late? I don't think it's dead, the sound clash culture, because it's still alive, like versus that's sound clash culture.
Correct.
Just transferred. And they actually they say, yo, it's coming from Jamaica. There's Swiss Beats said that. It's like, yo, it's cause of them man being here mountain and them man make me know them thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's just like, how can you as a young sound pick up that, start getting into the dub plates, and then a next thing that contributes to that, the artists them like they're charging too much money for the dub plates. Some people scamming out the dub plates, like splicing the dubs.
Right.
Like the fake artists. It's just the business of it kind of all over the place. But the love of it is there. The sound clash culture is, everybody loves it, but it didn't translate to that younger generation to where like, oh crap, I want to voice some dubs. I want to take my lunch money and voice every dub plate.
Right.
And then aside from that too, I feel like the big sound systems, like they have the ones that stand out.
Yeah.
And then they have the majority were just following along. So they're not bringing anything else to the sound clash.
Yeah.
You sound like the other man them.
Right.
You're not doing anything different. You have the same speech as the other person, because you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just that. It just gets monotonous after the time.
Yeah. Do you think that there's anything that could be done to revive it and to keep it going, probably in the direction that you would like to see it? Is there a particular direction that you would like to see it?
Well, I like that the Red Bull culture clash. That's cool. That's like every genre under one roof and everybody vibing. Like I like that. And that too, a lot of people ignorant to genre, different music and thing too. So that can only happen at certain places. Like a fan of music is gonna love that. Like, oh crap, dubstep, hip hop, reggae, everything. Whoa, crazy.
Yeah.
So it's just that. I think anything can come back, but it just has to be different. It has to be a twist.
Yeah.
A twist on it.
Yeah. I think it does take a lot of innovation. And guys coming up with a different way to put it on the map and to revive it in a way that is palatable right now to this generation.
And it has to be a collective, right? The entire community, like the sound clash culture community, need to get together and have a game plan and be like, yo, this is what we're doing, a series of this. And guess what? You guys not getting paid until the end of the series.
Right.
We're gonna put everything we have into it, and the big pot, we're just gonna split it up 100 ways. Boom.
Yeah.
Everybody eat.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I get that. All right. So even that, I have a thought about my next and probably final topic for the evening. And that has to do with soca, right? There's a lot of talk about what is it gonna take to put soca or to give soca a Grammy, right? There's my belief. You can tell me if you disagree with me or not. I think that we should be more concerned, or we should be less concerned right now with soca actually being recognized as a Grammy award, and more concerned about the content the quality, the capacity, and how we put out the music to be able to build the following that soca needs at this point in time. I think that if it is that we thinking about soca and the Grammy Awards, we kind of putting the cart before the horse. And it's not to necessarily say that I'm not in the thought process that we should look at soca having a Grammy, but at the same point in time, I think that a lot needs to be done with the music and the culture, and I call it culture because if you think of dancehall reggae, you think about Jamaica, you think about that culture to go with it. I think soca of itself is now only developing that recognizable culture where people could say, yo, when I think of Marshall or this one from wherever island, I thinking about this, I thinking about this vibe and this energy. But at the same point in time, that's just the argument I make to people who willing to listen to it. So I mean, I don't know where's your take on the state of soca, especially as it relates to that Grammy Award idea. Am I making sense, or is it that there's
no,
more?
yeah, for sure. Like, but I don't think it matters for the Grammy. Like, what matters to the Grammy is record sales.
Correct.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that. At the end of the day, if you sell enough records, it'll happen.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what that number is or figure is, but it has to be one of those. It has to be a number for catch them eye.
Yeah, yeah.
But at the same time, it just put out good music. It will evolve into what it needs to be.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think it has improved leaps and bounds from the beginning.
Yeah, like even having all these artists down there, Nicki Minaj and Ting, that Cardi B, and like the culture is expanding. Like you think of Carnival, Trinidad, they have an image now to put with it. They're like, oh crap, half naked women and thing, feathers. Yeah,
right.
I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the Grammy goes, it's just the musical content and how it's put out.
Yeah, yeah. Because there are guys that don't even sing that don't win Grammys, but it doesn't mean that they don't get the international recognition for the music that they're putting out.
For sure.
You know?
And there's always room for experimentation. I don't know what's happening. You know, like come out of the box and be like, all right, cool. We're gonna call this. You know, whatever the artist is, that's their music.
Right.
You know, you put Justin Bieber on a reggae beat. It's not reggae. It's not soca. It's still pop.
Right.
So whatever the artist is, you know what I mean? You have to develop the artist, develop the music, and get it out there and try some experimentations.
Yeah. Do you think that experimentation right now is helping or hurting the industry? I say that because, you know, like I was telling somebody a couple of years ago, we had Island Pop, which was like soca EDM, and then now we get Afro soca, and we get, you know, again this kind of soca and that kind of soca. I don't know if that is experimentation or is just trying to follow the trend, you know?
It's a little bit of both.
Right.
It's gonna happen over time, you know.
Yeah.
Reggae dancehall, you know, ska, like everything switch up.
Yeah.
And it's just whichever catch is it's all a cycle. It's a time, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just music. But like I think it helps genre blending because it opened up some more doors for people who didn't know about the music where it came from. They start researching and be like, oh, this is actually where it came from. Cool, you know. So I think it opening more doors to the actual sound of it as well.
Right.
Like the bones and the vibe. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah,
I can dig it now.
Yeah. What do you see, I guess, the entertainment industry? Because we were talking about this before we came on, that things aren't even looking like 2021 right now.
Yeah, looking like 2022.
And looking like 2022. So I asked that question because again, I'm into foresight planning right now. I am into thinking about how we as a collective support each other over the next year and a half, because at the end of the day, there are people that are going to be like, yo, I have no idea what to do with myself. There are people who waiting for the next party to go and juggle or whatnot. Do you really think that it is going to look like 2022? And if you were a young creative right now with a DJ producer and you're looking at the landscape of things, like what would you advise somebody to do at this point in time going into next year? Because we almost finished with 2020. We'll see what 2021 brings, but I mean, there are guys looking for that motivation, that inspiration right now, and they have no idea where they're getting it from.
Well, if you are a producer, there's sites like that sell royalty-free music out there, you know. You could look into that. You know what I mean? Like there's sites that sell beats too. Like it might not be what you want for it, but you could probably make something until it get back up, you know?
Yeah.
But just look for it. You have to just look for different avenues. Create avenues for yourself too.
Yeah.
You know, start. I don't even know. I wouldn't even know. I made a master class. So that's what I did with my time.
But that is a way. So look at that. That is a so we have that in common. So you made a master class, right? We here decided to do a podcast talking to DJs because I remember somebody tell me before, like, yo, nobody's really talk to DJs, you know. Like like people see you guys on stage, but they never really get to understand a guy, you know. So they would see Willy Chin on Instagram or in a video, hear a remix, but they'd never really hear his point of view on something, and they'd put him as a one-dimensional guy. But look, you started a master class.
Yeah. So yeah, just look for it, try different things, you know. Like I've a few friends that work for Amazon, and you know what I mean. Nothing wrong with it. You got to pay the bills.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know, make some merchandise. I have some other friends cooking, selling food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're just on the hustle. That's that time. You have to just weather the storm.
Yeah. Do you think is probably because some guys have probably have been at this level of being the entertainer that now, as you rightfully said, to go back to the cooking and selling the food, they see that. Look, it's have no shame in an honest day's work. It have no shame in an honest hustle of what it is you're trying to do for yourself.
Honestly, it's more power to you. You know what I mean? Like honest, like when I started, like my birthday bash, when I started it,
yeah.
I remember one of the DJs walking out. He's like, "Yo, Willie, what are you doing handing out flyers outside?" To come like 5 years later, that same DJ outside a party handing out a flyer. You know what I'm saying? So you can't be afraid to just do what you want to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you could be that trendsetter. You don't have to wait for somebody else to do it before you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. Yeah. There's no limits. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for real, for real. You said that I remember a couple of years ago seeing Charles Marshall on the avenue sticking flyers and fellas passing and saying, "Charles, what going on you, boy?" And Charlie, boy, and he hustle, boy. And this is Charles Marshall, like he had how much of a soca tunes that were buzzing at the time.
Yeah.
And Charles on the avenue in Trinidad just sticking flyers for whatever show. Because
it's work, and you can see the work pay off. You know what I mean? You can't worry about somebody else or what they're thinking.
Yeah.
Because they're not putting food on your table. You know what I'm saying? Just worry about your game plan and stick to it, and you'll see the end result.
Facts.
You know?
Facts. Yeah. I think we could really go on that one. I think that is really one of the most important things to take away from this. I mean, again, you have your ecosystem of people, you will have your ecosystem of people, and they're the people that keep you up, motivate you. But at the same point in time, don't stop trying. Like, just don't stop trying and try different things. You know, just try different things, because you would never know from something else that you pick up how that might help you, not just in what your core skill is, but in the long run in something else. And you could get a business out of it. You could get a master's class.
Sombapro.com. Check it out.
Sombapro.com, yes, and you could get a master's class.
And surround yourself with good people as well.
Yeah.
Because there's some people out there like would just bash down any idea you have just because they can't see past tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know? Like if you listen to every person, that's bad. Because even some people might agree with you, or some people might not be for you, you know what I mean? Until it change.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah,
for real.
Try figure out your friend them and who are your friend. And
yeah, and never going back to the beginning to close it off, going back to the beginning conversation, never take for granted how positivity does reach people. So again, I'll go back to that story, coming off stage from that party, coming off a stressful week, You understand? And Willy Chin and this guy from the Bahamas come as like, yo, yeah, you have something, you understand?
But
And
I do that honestly. Like if I see talent, I just tell them. I'm like, yo, you have something like, and it don't matter where on the spectrum you land. You know,
yeah.
that's me though. You know, like some people like, yo, you're big, you can't talk to the little man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like give word of advice all the time.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Well, Warren, I wanna really thank you for your time tonight. I know you find it so funny I call you by your actual name, but I tell people this. At the end of the day, I may be Redymix DMT. We might have DJ, whoever back to basics, whoever the DJ we could think of. But
Ricardo.
at the end of the day, right, you understand? But at the end of the day, you are a person and you have a story. And the truth and fact is that your story in some ways helps and inspires others, because there's a guy out there right now, a younger DJ or even an older DJ right now sitting down behind a computer trying to figure out how to put together a remix like Willy Chin, or trying to put together a routine like some other DJ. And even though in these lives we do talk about the technical aspects of it, which is important, I think it's more important to understand the motivations behind people. Look, the last point I just made about surrounding yourself with good people. How many people out there right now trying to do something and the ecosystem is not a good ecosystem? So you're trying to get motivation and people telling you like, yo, like you can't do this, or you not, you don't have people encouraging in the right way. And that for me has been the purpose of doing these conversations, because anybody could ask you about the technical stuff, someboypro.com. Anybody could ask you about the technical stuff and they can learn about the technical stuff. But to actually hear, a person say, yo, this is what you need to have as an individual, not as DJ so-and-so, but whatever your name is. This is what going to help you get over the hump to some extent. It might not work the exact way, but this is what I do. This was my process. This is how my process was. Like you just said, learning to get our confidence to go out on a microphone and talk. Yes, people probably wouldn't even know that because they're seeing you doing this. So at the end of the day, I think, the information that we share with this is a real valuable experience for a lot of people that tune in. And as always, I'm really, really thankful for everybody that makes the time for the program. So I really want to thank you a lot for making the time tonight. And keep doing you do. And again, someboypro.com. Please,
respect. Group Theory, one-on-one. Man.
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot, brother.
Yeah, man, the whole team.
Yeah. All right. So we'll pick up soon, bro.
Yeah, right? Man. Respect. Right. Vibes.
Cool.
I big up all the DJs in the chat.
Big up the DJs.
Adam Spice. Cha-cha.
Yeah, Cha-cha, Adam, Spice, Selector Carey. Right. Yeah, man.
Big up the whole team.
Yeah.
Jordan, big up. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. All right, my brother. We'll pick up soon.
That's up.
Yeah, man. Cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Willy Chin inside the Groove Theory one-on-one live. I want to thank him for the time tonight. Before we go, you guys see the back of me here. I have one Pioneer DJ, SB3, that is going to be given away very soon via Groove Theory. That's right. We are giving away this Pioneer DDJ SB3 for the new year. So if you're an upcoming DJ, if you're somebody that looking to get some equipment, you're looking to invest in yourself or whatnot, we are actually going to be giving away that controller. See it right here back there. Make sure and take it from Cha-cha today to let you guys know that Groove Theory, we are giving away a controller. So you guys definitely need to follow Groove Theory on Instagram, follow Groove Theory, or I should say like Groove Theory on Facebook, to be able to keep tuned as to how it is that you can win the controller behind me. You understand? And please don't be in my DMs like, dog, how you could win the controller. Even Willy and all was asking earlier if he could win the controller. So at this point in time, if it is you're really, really interested in actually getting the controller, follow Groove Theory on Instagram, follow Groove Theory on Facebook, and definitely for sure you could win that. We have the information on that coming up very soon. 2 notes quickly, just to remind you guys that right now you're getting $800 back for registering with any DJ course, and $1,000 back for registering for any turntable program right now on u.groovetheoryhq.com. So sign up for our classes that begin in January. And also want to let you guys know that next week, Monday, the Creative Collective podcast is going to be back We're going to send out that link very soon, talking to 4 creative entrepreneurs. And the 4 guys who are going to have, I'm going to tell you right now, DJ Chacha is going to be the conversation. DJ Adam 2MV is going to be in the conversation. Gleason from the House of CAT Committee is going to be in the conversation. And Major Penny. 4 guys have been trailblazing in different fields, and we're looking forward to having the discussion with them next week, Monday, on the Creative Collective podcast. All right. So once again, everybody, thank you very much for tuning into the Groove Theory one-on-one live. We are going to be migrating all our lives straight to Facebook and YouTube. So if you see me on Instagram, starting it on Instagram, just know that's going to be here. And keep in mind that after this live ends, it's going to be available on YouTube and on Facebook for you guys to look at after. All right. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Adam, Mikul, Jody Ann, everybody who tuned into live tonight. Carrie, who else we had here? DJ Sly, my brethren, Adrian, Selma, DJ Spice out in New York. Thank you guys so much for being part of the Creative Collective podcast tonight. I should say, sorry, the Groove Theory one-on-one podcast tonight. And I'll see you guys next week, Monday, for the Creative Collective. All right. Peace out and bless.